A human soldier was given an alien prisoner as a reward. They called it the War of 10 Suns. 10 systems, each burning with fire and ruin, where the sky itself had been torn apart by the engines of conquest. The Xyrr Dominion had ruled those stars for millennia. Their fleets moved like storms. Their soldiers were bred for war, elegant, ruthless, and cold. And when humanity stumbled into their empire, when Earth sent her first colony ships beyond the Veil of Soul, the Xyrr came to greet them, with extermination orders. For 100 years, the war burned. Worlds died. Moons shattered. Oceans boiled. And yet, humanity would not yield. They were called primitive by their conquerors. Short-lived. Emotional. Chaotic. But in every trench, on every frozen moon, in every burning orbital station, humanity's defiance became something the galaxy had never seen before. They fought not because they wanted to win. They fought because surrender was not in their nature. When the war finally ended, it was not with negotiation. It ended when a single human fleet, the 7th Expeditionary, broke through the Dominion's core defenses and burned the throne world. Billions watched from orbit as the citadels of the Xyrr fell in silence. And in that silence, the stars changed. The Dominion surrendered. The survivors bowed. And for the first time in galactic history, humans were the victors. Sergeant Elias Vorn was one of them, a soldier from the last ground campaign. He had fought through 9 cities, lost every friend he had, and survived the storm of fire that ended the war. When it was over, command called him a hero. And heroes, in the new empire of ashes, were given rewards. His reward was not gold, not land, not even rest. It was a prisoner, a living trophy, a symbol of their victory. They brought her to him in chains. An alien woman, silver-skinned and marked with the fractal tattoos of the Dominion's warrior caste. Her eyes were luminous, sharp, like the edge of a dying star. She did not kneel. She only stared at him, proud even in defeat. Elias hated it. He had seen enough of chains. He had watched humans burn in alien cages, heard the screams echo through cold metal walls. He looked at the woman, this reward, and all he saw was the same cruelty mirrored. So he broke the chains. The guard shouted. The commander demanded an explanation. But Elias said nothing. He only handed the woman a ration pack, pointed to the horizon, and told her she was free. She didn't move. Not at first. Freedom was not something she had ever been offered. And when she finally spoke, her voice was a whisper, the first words of the new age. What kind of conqueror frees their enemy? For months, they traveled together through the ruins of the fallen worlds. The Dominion cities lay in ashes, towers melted, skies scorched, seas black with oil and blood. The woman's name was Elias. She had been bred to fight, trained from birth to kill. Now she wandered beside the man who had destroyed her empire. At first, they barely spoke. But in the silence between them, something began to change. She saw how humans mourned their dead, how they carried their pain not as shame, but as proof of what they were willing to love. He saw how she still looked at the stars, not with hatred, but with wonder. In the ruins of war, they found something the galaxy had forgotten: mercy. Word of the traitor soldier spread. They said Elias had betrayed humanity's victory, that he had spared a monster. But to those who listened closer, it became something else. A story. A seed. On burned worlds and forgotten colonies, whispers began to rise. If one human could forgive the enemy, perhaps the war could truly end. And so began a quiet revolution, not of fleets or fire, but of hearts. Years passed. The Dominion rebuilt, not as an empire, but as a people. And when they returned to the stars, it was not with weapons. It was with ships bearing the mark of the two who had ended the cycle of vengeance. A symbol, half human, half Xyrr, carved into the hulls of the new alliance. They called it the Covenant of Ash and Dawn. And at its heart, beneath the twin suns of a world once shattered, stood a monument. Two figures, side by side, a soldier and a prisoner. The inscription read, "He freed her. She freed us all." In the centuries that followed, humanity became something else. Not conquerors, not saviors, but the keepers of balance in a galaxy that still remembered the taste of fire. Other species came to them, the broken, the hunted, the desperate, and humanity offered not chains, but hands. And slowly, across the cold expanse of space, the legend grew. They said there was once a man who was given a living trophy, and instead of keeping it, he set it free. They said the stars themselves watched in silence that day, and learned what it truly meant to be human.